baptized?
No. They're Orthodox.
Oh, they're Orthodox. Whatever. They're baptized. Yeah. They're Christians. Period.
But even though they're
baptized, they're so against it. They get so disgusted.
But even though they're baptized, they also went to an Islamic school.
That's not confusing. I wonder how those kids
turn out.
Inshallah,
yeah, they went to Islamic school.
What are they
I would never allow that.
Are they teaching their children to worship?
She doesn't. So she doesn't believe. So she's an Orthodox Christian, but she doesn't believe Jesus is God.
It doesn't matter what
she believes. What
does her husband believe?
She doesn't believe Jesus.
Oh, her husband is Muslim?
She probably just started
believing
married a Muslim.
You're telling me your cousin, who's a Muslim, comes from a Muslim Palestinian family, married a Christian, so you're telling me the Christian converted to Islam?
No.
Exactly.
No. She's an Orthodox Christian.
What
she baptized her children.
What is he? I don't care. What is he? What is the man?
He's no longer a Christian.
Okay, so he converted.
No, he didn't convert.
Apparently.
Neither of them converted.
What do you mean? She's coming. Hey, Pearl, shut up for a second. Just let me understand this. Because you're telling me your cousin isn't a Christian originally.
He's Muslim.
What
is wrong with
okay, she's a Muslim. She's a Muslim. Her husband
is what? No, my cousin is a guy.
Okay,
her cousin.
My cousin is the guy.
Your cousin married a Christian woman? So
Palestinian Christian woman.
So what?
I'm giving an example of what Pearl's talking about.
Yeah, no.
Pearl's saying, but they're involved in the church and
if a Chaldean man married a Muslim woman and she converted, or the children were at least bad, they wouldn't have that much problem.
Because I'll tell you why. Who's her mom?
It's the other way around.
Who's her dad? Who's her uncle? And the aunts. They're all Muslims. They will not be invited to the party.
The girl is a Christian. My cousin is a male.
No, I'm saying even if they converted, I'm talking about I'm just saying, even if they converted, that's not a problem. It's a big problem.
You're so tribal.
No, I don't care. Muslims would be invited to my wedding because all the people.
But I just want everybody to remember, Pearl said
I would have plenty of Muslims at my wedding, but they wouldn't be family. It's different.
So I just want you all to just remember, Pearl. Hold on, Pearl. I want to say something that you said. You said there was an honor killing from a Chaldean for dating a Muslim guy in the 80s. I don't want everybody to ever associate this thing with Islam ever again. Anybody in this room?
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone can say that.
Yeah, but of course they were Arabized. They got that influence and shit.
But that's not an Islamic concept.
I mean, honor killing doesn't really. Most of the cases don't happen because someone married someone outside of their religion because they're whoring around or something.
But it's taken very seriously. That was my point.
So it's about the honor of the family.
Yeah.
If your daughter's going around and she's sleeping with
guys. Wait. Cynic. You think that's acceptable to do?
It's not acceptable. Even fornication. The Sharia does not allow fornication to be a death penalty. Even if you were hoeing around, doesn't give you the right to go kill that person. So that person under Sharia Islam would be killed if you go and you exact it.
It's not about the hoeing. It's about the fact that you're Muslim.
Okay, so I'm going to come from an outside perspective, but you can look at in Corsica, what the just look at the homicide rate. It was the murder capital of Europe in the 2010s, but if you look back in the 1700s, 1600s, it's a third of their population is wiped out because of blood feuds. Now, I mean, somewhat of an honor-shame society. I do think that I'm not as barbaric as it sounds. It's not excuse me, a hiccup. Christian of me. I mean, I would absolutely enforce certain behaviors. I would make it known that women in my family cannot. They can't be with Muslims. They can't do a lot of shit.
I mean, most people feel like that family. They just wouldn't think. But at the same time, honestly, places like New York, that veil really lifts because it's New York and because Arabic guys treat better than anybody else. Unfortunately, they do. Like, we could play around and we could say Mabada Shu, they're tough, they're bullheaded, they're this, they're that. But at the end of the day, Pepe, nobody treats you like an Arabic guy. They put you very high on a pedestal and they spoil you a lot. That's my experience. And it really doesn't matter if they're Muslim or Christian. If they like a girl, they'll move mountains. It doesn't matter. I mean, you just don't get that type of obsession type from typical American relationships. Like, typical American white guy, nothing stirs them, their soul. You know, they're just like they're just, you know, it's not the same. It's a little different. It's a different passion. They're not so, you know, it's not so involved. Like, if there's someone in our community that lets you right away, they want to meet your parents, they want to do all these things and make all these plans, etc. White guys, they'll date you for 3 years. White men think it's appropriate to date a girl for 3 years, 4 years, to live with a girl. That's disgusting. What's wrong with you guys?
I agree. And I'm way totally guilty of that.
Like, I think it's disgusting. Like, men and women living together, you're not married. What are you doing? You're literally living in sin. Like, what do you do? And then, like, what's the benefit that the girl gets? Nothing. She's acting the role of the wife, cooking and cleaning, and
what's the role of either of them, though? Like, I'm being honest. Like, so when that happens, she's not your wife, and so, like, her having that obligation, her feeling like she has that obligation is not going to be there because you didn't marry her.
That's not true, Pepe. The dishes still have to get done. The floor has to be mopped.
I'm talking. Okay,
the magic fairy.
Okay, but when it comes to like my ex and myself, it's not the case. Like, we weren't married. And the women I've been in close relationships were also like Catholic. Obviously they were not practicing. But like it wasn't.
No,
we didn't assign their
Catholic American behavior. They don't care if they're white. They'll move in together. It's normal.
Sure, but well, to be fair, if we're to get to get a blessing by the Catholic Church and to have them actually allow us to be married, you'd have to lie through your teeth, or you'd have to like literally correct your behavior and no longer cohabitate with them.
Oh, lying in the church to a priest, that's not a sin. That's a great way to start off a marriage.
Well, obviously. Obviously, I'm not advocating for that.
You sure?
Oh, no, absolutely not. I mean, I'm absolutely not doing that. I'm saying that, I was never, excuse me, goddamn hiccups. I was never married, so like, but I do know that if you're cohabitating with a woman.
Pepe, be honest with you. Overall sum effect of those relationships where you guys live together. Hada or no? Tell me the truth.
Were they what?
Hada, right? What was the end result?
You said an Arabic word I didn't understand.
Oh, you guys.
What was the end result of those relationships, Pepe?
They obviously didn't work out,
Not only it didn't work out, it was bad. Shit. You know what I mean? Like, not just, just bad.
What's the...
It's just not good.
Yeah, interreligious relationships or marriages usually don't end up pretty well. They end up usually collapsing.
Yeah. Catastrophe.
What's the Hebrew word? What's the Hebrew word for having a religious relationship with your dildo?
Why are you bringing this shit up? But like, I agree with you. I do think that. I don't know if you've heard me talk about it. I know I've talked a little bit of my love. I'm somebody who doesn't talk about relationships a lot. So I like literally don't care anymore.
Or haven't.
but like I was like blessed with being like more attractive looking
Like the
than like
title
most
trailer?
people.
You're the
Like,
cutest one in the world, Pepe. Obviously.
no, I'm not the cutest one in the world.
Okay, so you were blessed with good looks and
I wasted my fucking time, to be very blunt, getting pussy.
You.
And yes, fine. And yeah, I had to get antibiotics a few times. That actually happened. And so like I'm somebody who would like waste my time. It's just like pursuing like simple pleasures, like sticking your dick and nutting in a woman. I know it sounds very gross because it is gross.
That's why I have to get a dildo. It's more efficient.
And so, like, I was one of those people, and then it's just like, you have to understand, like, I'm somebody in my 40s. It's like, what do you have to show for it? You have these fleeting pursuits and pleasures, and it's just like, it got you nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. And so,
Pepe, even if you were successful in your job or pursuing your path or doing good work, it's still bullshit if you don't have love, right? Love is the thing.
Yeah, I don't even believe in love, to be honest. And so, I'm somebody who, I'm obviously
That's
beyond
not
jaded.
true. I've seen it proven.
Okay,
Mannequins? It's not.
Okay, I love mine. She's the one source of light in my life, but other than that, like, I am not somebody who...
She is a source of light in our lives. Where have you been?
I love mine.
Go join a church or something. What are you doing?
I don't know. They brought up shit about me.
How many people do we have in this room that are near 40 that have no kids like Pepe?
He wants a Chaldean girl.
found somebody.
Every guy
Leave
who's
him
ever
alone.
met a Chaldean girl wants a Chaldean. Of course.
Pepe, you are like most people in this room. You're not unique or different. You really shouldn't feel bad. You're an average millennial.
Yeah, you're just more honest about it.
Yeah.
I swear.
I'm somebody who doesn't talk about this shit. I was somebody who was like kind of like a quote unquote like comedian / troll who, but then would also have like serious debates on certain issues, and then like I don't make rooms anymore because I don't want to be glued to my fucking phone, and like okay, like I'll be honest about a lot of this shit, and do I think I'm necessarily different?
Girls didn't want to race mix with you.
I've race mixed most of my like. Here's the thing. Like, here's the weird thing that people won't like. The first girl who tried to kiss me was a Japanese girl. This is where it gets weird. The first girl who I did kiss was a Korean girl. First girl I fucked was from Guam. My first serious girlfriend was from Vietnam, which is weird. These were the last, and this was in my teens. These were like the last Asian girls I ever dated, and for the most part, ever since then, like I fucked a rainbow like 20 times over. Whether they were like even black women, not just from the U.S. but from Africa.
Rainbow.
But they just want to have fun with you, Pepe. They don't want to race mix with you, dude.
Yeah, but that's not race mixing if you're fucking them. It's just like you're just.
What I'm saying, even if you nutted, they'd go and get the plan B immediately. You know what I mean?
Well, I wore condoms, and the wake up call I had was that when I was going to University of Arizona, there was this girl of Chinese descent that came from Hawaii. She was pretty smart. She was cool. We started making out, and she wanted to fuck, and then but she was just so well manicured and clean cut, and then the next day it burned when I peed. I'm like, oh, that's weird. And then a couple days later, it's like, oh wow, it's burning more when I pee. And so I go to the University Medical Center, and this was a wake up call. I go there, and they're like, this seems like more of an urgent care issue. I didn't know the difference between emergency and urgent care at the time. And then they're like, so here I am, and I have these there's students, and then there's it was all female. That was the fucked up part. And then like they're checking out my dick, and then they like I see these swabs. I'm like, oh, what's going on here? And like, well, we have to get some cultures. And then like I just remember like getting hella shrinkage, and there was all of these. It was nothing but women, literally. And then like my dick shrunk. I had like micro penis size shrinkage. And I was just like, this. I look. Not only do I look like so uncool, but I can't. I like really don't want to see that like weird looking metallic swab go down my urethra. And then they were doing it, and then
there you go. That's why you can't have babies. You're shooting blank.
Yeah.
no, I don't shoot blanks. That's the weird thing. But luckily, anything I got, like I took an antibiotic and it went away. But it was a learning experience. This nice Chinese girl that looked like a scholar, like she was going to accomplish great things, was a dirty whore.
The ass of a 12-year-old boy. Go ahead.
Yeah, very dirty whore that gave me chlamydia.
Oh, it was an Asian chick. That's to you.
Luckily, I never got the herp or anything like permanent, so I'm cool.
Pepe, Mon says that you're trolling us.
No, they actually haven't.
Did you
Went from Korean to Chinese.
get chlamydia or did you get the clap? What did you get?
The clap.
You get AIDS.
The gonorrhea.
I thought the clap is chlamydia.
Would you describe yourself as the most selfish person you know? Or do you think that you're just an average level?
I would say average. Here's the weird thing. So like, I'm not gonna say his name, but like I had a close friend I grew up with, and he's better looking than myself. I would say like he was very weird in the sense that like he was not looking to like fuck, and even he did kind of do that with women, but he was always like looking for the one, where I was kind of like a low IQ.
We're looking for the next one.
Yeah, like a low IQ Negro. Just looking for the next cheap thrill. Whereas like he was always kind of looking for like his future wife. And he is married now. He has children. He's doing well. He married a nice white woman from the southern part of Brazil. They have children, and it's amazing.
Well, he was probably sleeping with higher quality women to begin with. So the question was really,
he had a higher, he definitely had like a higher, he would gatekeep higher than I would, for sure.
Yeah, so his only issue was like, okay, I can get great quality pussy, but which one do I want to marry? Which one do I want to have raise my kids?
Yeah, that was like with me, I was just like a degenerate, just like I don't know, I just like overindulge and just like smashing like fucking random women.
The best sex you've ever had was with what race? Top number one of all time.
It was this is so weird to say, but it was someone I was seeing for like a couple of years, and she was a woman that was like 15 years my senior from Mexico City.
There you go. She's older than you? You probably had kids.
Yeah, she was 15 years older.
Oh, nice.
I was like 25-ish.
And how many kids did she have?
She couldn't have kids. She was just like she was
You're just down to fuck.
not real. Actually, she didn't like give it up. She didn't give it up like easily at all. It was weird with her. Like we didn't like meet with intentions of dating or anything like that, and we were kind of like friends. But it's like obviously there's this like huge fucking age gap, and like she wasn't like a prude, but she was not willing to like. It's not like she's not somebody who would have like a one night stand. At least I don't think. no, she had.
You hooked up with Issa.
Well, Issa can't have kids. She's too fucking old. Okay, look, if I wanted dirty beaner babies, and look, I know she's DTF. Like I used to try to deliberately like creep her out. I'd be like, I'm coming to America.
The woman ain't here. The woman ain't here.
No. She won't get mad that I say this. She said like, oh, I'm coming to Las Vegas, and I'm gonna see like some of you guys, and then I'd be like, oh really? I'm gonna come to Las Vegas. I'm gonna find you. And she's like, oh really? And you're like, and I'd be like, yeah.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
And like I would try to like creep her the fuck out, and then she'd be like, okay. And then it's just like, God, I can't fucking troll her. Like it was so fucking weird.
It's like that fucking Scary Movie 2 scene where she gets fucked by the ghost. She thinks she's getting away with something, and then she just fucking loves it and starts talking about how she's gonna be Mrs. Ghost. Woo! You remember that scene?
I watched all the scary movies, but I don't remember that. But that's hilarious.
Do you remember she wakes up and the ghost has his cock in her mouth?
Pearl, are you dating a nice guy yet? Any guy?
Puppy, that's personal.
What? You ask me that all the time. Fine.
Tell the whole world.
Okay, fine.
Hey, by the way, later she gives the ghost crabs. I don't know if you guys remember that. Not totally. Yeah. So first, right after they have sex, they're like, he's smoking a cigarette, lying next to her. Of course, it's just a floating cigarette, right? And she's like, well, she's like, that's the best sex I've ever had. I can't wait to be called Mrs. Whatever. I don't know what the ghost's real name was. And he fucking just skedaddles out of that fucking room when she says that. And then later she's like, why haven't you called me? And he's like, you gave me crabs.
As a governor of Maryland at that point.
Oh shit. Those movies were good. You guys don't remember this? He fucks her brains out and like she goes up the roof and shit. She's like having sex with him on the ceiling.
We'll have to rewatch it. We don't have your movie memory.
Tell me at least, Peppy, you remember the scene in Scary Movie 1 where the dude blows his load on Cindy and turns into like a fucking skeleton.
I never watched that shit. Like I'm being
Oh my god.
I don't watch that goy slop. Like
Do you guys know a man by the name of Richard Pryor?
Yes.
Yes, homosexual, yes.
He's not a homo, is he?
Oh yeah, huge homo.
Richard Pryor?
Richard
Pryor?
Pryor?
Look it up.
Dick Pryor.
Well, that doesn't surprise me since he grew up in a string of brothels controlled by his grandmother. That's probably why. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at
Pryor's widow, Jennifer Lee, confirmed the rumors, telling TMZ that her late husband was always open about his bisexuality with friends.
Oh, so he's not gay, he's bi.
What's the difference? No, if you suck dick, you're a homosexual.
Okay.
I mean, that is a weird thing, and this is where I think the right wing people are really weird. Is like I actually think being gay is genetic because like my taste of like women is generally like not changed much since I was a kid. I would get like aroused looking at women. Only there's never been a dude, like there's never been an exception. Yes, there's like trans, I guess people that are women, that call themselves women, where it's just like maybe they're photoshopped and it's just like, oh shit, like that looks like a woman, and it's just like amazing. But it's like at the end of the day, like visually you see what you think is a woman. With all of that being said, that obviously I was over emphasizing like the outlier. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think you have any control who you're attracted to. Like, if you're attracted to dudes and prefer dudes, like something is like wired differently in your fucking brain.
No,
It's
you
just
can
society.
just pray, and then like women, just pray and be gay. Try it out.
Well, Jesus didn't make me gay. Like, I love him for that.
It's such a crazy concept that people are just like, oh no, it's just an act. We can work on it.
It's
like,
degeneracy. It's not. It's just
Okay, but if I want to be
degeneracy.
degenerate, it would be doing like kinky weird shit with women. It just like does not involve dudes whatsoever. There's like me being tempted to sin. It doesn't involve dudes. If anything, it's like if dudes are around, like I don't want to be involved. Like when I look at I hear
Randy says.
well, Randy's a cuck, and so fuck that fucking kike is so annoying. Like I cannot stand him. Like we got into it the other week, but
Randy said when you DP that your balls don't touch each other. The other guy.
he's so gross. I can't stand him.
Listen, there's nothing moderate about homosexual acts.
Pounds. Give me a break, guys.
Like if you're somebody, and here's the weird thing, like if you are willing to like allow, like I can't this I can't understand. Like if I was just in a relationship with a woman, I would be. There is a part of me is just like because we have an exclusive arrangement. Like I don't mean it in a as in like in a toxic way, but there is like a sense of like possessiveness. Like you're gonna.
Where are you going with this? You gonna stick it up her butt? Is that where you're going with this? Why not?
No, what I'm saying is just like to allow another dude to get involved with your woman is so fucking weird. I can't.
Pepe, I want you to
understand
be
it.
possessed to leave your house. Can we start there?
Will you come to Arizona?
He will come.
What are you gonna do with me? I work 7 days a week, dude. I'm annoying. You
Yes.
need somebody who doesn't work.
She doesn't have time to clean her underwear, bro. She's using Wednesday's underwear right now.
But you need somebody who's baking cookies all day, like Blake Lively.
There you go. Yeah, chicks, you have to watch your wife make out with some like fucking Jewish guy.
I like her. I like her. She's somebody who I could like definitely picture myself being very romantic with.
Yeah, no kidding. She sits home and bakes cookies.
Not you.
No,
Like
Blake
in terms of
Lively.
like what you do.
Blake Lively. Oh, you're talking about me?
Yes, I'm saying like you're somebody who's like.
Lively goes to work.
I think you're really
her
cute.
husband.
And then like I think you're not. You're intelligent and like would I. Like, I actually think, like, if you lived near me, like, you're somebody I would be like, oh my god, I really like her. But.
Oh, thanks, Pepe. That's very nice. But you're 4 hours away.
Pepe, go to
Oh my
her.
gosh, 4 hours is nonsense.
Pepe, go to her.
I don't do long distance.
No, it's 4 hours.
I don't do long distance. I don't have the drive to, like, care about this shit anymore.
Pepe,
Yeah.
I need you to get the drive, the pep in your step.
Yeah, he's too old for
Maybe
that
you
shit.
need to go lift.
Always.
I'm 43 years old. Like that died. I'm gonna die alone.
43.
Maybe I'll adopt a dog. And here's what I think might happen. If I'm lucky.
Pepe, you just need to lift weights and it'll give you the testosterone boost.
But I've lifted weights most of my fucking life. I don't give a fuck
She's
about
trying
that
to
shit.
fucking convince him to get it up for her.
But here's the thing. Like I will adopt a couple of dogs. Okay, we will be best buddies. We'll go to the park
You
together.
can never keep up with me. Are you kidding me? I go all day, all night.
She's
and
challenging
I
you.
need
Oh my
somebody
God.
with energy more than me, or at least 50% as much as me.
I mean, like
You're at
realistically,
5%.
I won't ask this question, but like realistically, like I'm not gonna ask it because I don't. Like, I like you enough not to ask you.
Don't ask any or I just meant
Yeah.
hanging out. Okay, so don't ask it. I meant literally just being around me. I chill, but like, you have to match my vibe. I do chill. My thing is, I'm out like a light. Usually I like 10:30.
Like a light.
I'm out like a light, like boom. And then I wake up at 6:30 and I go all day.
That's amazing.
He likes it in the morning, Peppy. You can handle that.
Yeah,
It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm a high energy person. It's annoying to be around that.
I know, but a specific type of energy, it probably outmatch you, but that's fine.
Yeah, but I have a good energy. People like my energy. I'm chilling.
That's good. That's good. But at the end of the day, like, I will adopt a dog. Okay, at least what I'll get to know is that, like, when I die on this planet, okay, my dog, at least if he runs out of puppy chow, he gets to gnaw on my face,
Pepe,
my buttocks. I'm in my 40s. I'm gonna start having children now.
Pearl, there's no more condoms. He's sick of that. He's gonna blow his load on you. No more pulling out. He's 43. There's no holding back anymore.
43 acts like he's 63.
But you know what? Like, okay, when I end up adopting my dogs, whatever, and being a dog dad, which is equivalent to, you know, the sluts that like to say they're a cat mom. They will get to feast on my face and my buttocks and whatever it is. You know, they will get to live. Hopefully, you know, because I don't have any dependents. You know, the coroners will find me soon enough, and the dogs will be readopted. Amazing, and you know, that's that.
On you, Pepe?
I mean, yeah, but like my immediate family, but they're way older than me, so you know, I am going to die alone.
You're gonna find out something's wrong.
But here's the okay. But when I'm old, no, because like I'll be by myself. Like,
Bro, can you
and here's the thing:
fuck this guy
everybody
up,
likes to think like you need to make this like huge mark on your community. It's like, oh, how many people are going to grieve your disappearance? Well, yes, like in an egotistical way, it's kind of like, oh, I made my marker in this world. This many people mourn me. But like at the same time, it's like if you have a death that causes less people's pain, and they don't really care or notice that you're gone, in a way, it's kind of like more humanitarian. And like, I really don't care. Like, I just don't fucking care.
It'd be kind of cool to, like, I don't know, die for some cause, like a last sacrifice benefit something.
Well, I agree. It's just like,
Pepe, are you drinking?
no, I'm fine. So like, there is.
But did you have a drink?
Sure, but
Open up.
Why didn't you tell me? I wanted to have.
Pearl, can you pity fuck this guy already?
no, I'm fine.
Like, make him
But
happy.
I can come check on your dogs if you're
Yeah.
close to death. I live like 20 minutes from you, somewhere around that.
Right on.
Oh, you live in Arizona?
Yeah.
Diego, you live in Arizona?
We all live in Arizona, but you.
Yeah.
Which one do you want? Do you want me, Lou, or Peppy?
Oh, that's cool. I love Arizona. Our people.
Oh wow, she dodged the answer. Wow, wow.
Right. What did I say?
I don't think she heard the question.
I said, which one of us do you want? Peppy, Lou,
I
or
thought
me?
you meant like, all of you.
At the same time,
Wow.
I have to choose.
I'm not
Let me
worth it.
introduce you to Rabbi.
Who's the third? Joey?
Mm-hmm.
What's he look like? Is he Italian?
He could be.
But
He
he's
could put
not.
shoe
He's
polish in
Mexican.
his hair.
Is he Mexican like you?
Joey Chupo.
Yeah.
What?
He's. Hello? He's one of those
Hello.
Mexican guys, but he's trying to be Italian.
No, I'm Polynesian.
Edmund, did you block
You're
me on YouTube?
Polynesian, so you're like Asian looking?
No.
AKA not hung.
Oh, so like,
Ew.
no, I'm not Italian. I'm Polynesian.
But wait, like what I don't get is
I know,
like,
what do you look like?
Oh,
see, she's already weighing her options against me. That's amazing.
oh damn.
No, I'm
Nah,
just
so, like-
curious. Like, are you Asian looking?
No, I look more like so Polynesians are basically like Samoans.
In other words, he looks like a native Hawaiian,
Yeah.
a Tongan, a Samoan.
I'm Tongan. Yeah, there you go.
They basically they're like way bigger than Asian people. They're way bigger than every people, and they just have a different look.
Yeah, we're not Asians. Although we do descend from Southeast Asia, but we just ended up genetically evolving from there because we lived out in the islands, navigated quite a bit, and for some reason we genetically evolved from being Southeast Asians. But very brown, I guess.
Like I guess this is one of the things I have to ask is like I've mainly like gone against. So I'm somebody who's not like tribal racially out of like how do you put it? Because I want to be, but just because I see that's just how it is with every group of people. And I realize, well, I mean, it's just like you have a chance, but I like kind of like at the end of the day, like examine everything. It's just like what is our purpose in life? Like we're a bunch of fucking rats. You have a bunch of women that just like we want the most resources, men that want the most resources. They want to reproduce with the whoever's they feel is the most attractive. Same with the women. And it's just kind of like, in a way, like we're not much different than fucking canines or alligators or wolves or whatever the fuck you want to say. And I just look at like a lot of this shit that because we're humans, like we talk about it, but at the end of the day, we're just like more evolved than other species, but we play the same fucking game and we try to rationalize everything. At the end of the day, what do we try to rationalize? Like who is high value, who is low value? It is going to be the people with resources and that look the best, so that you can I don't know, just like gratify yourself in fucking that individual. It's like all like super animalistic, and I like in a lot of ways, like I just think I'm like super jaded. I just like really don't fucking care.
Yeah, true. I think I read like a few articles on sexual relationship these days in selecting partners, and a lot of it tend to evolve from supposedly our ape ancestry. Hence why a lot of females find dudes with jawlines much more attractive than people who don't. And I mean, it's just what I read anyway.
It's kind of like the same reason why does like why the lionesses all want to fuck the alpha lion. I mean, it's just like we have like this strategic like mating strategy that is I don't know, like inherently and subconsciously we act upon this, and it's like okay, amazing. Why do we have sex drives? It's just like to reproduce as a species, and I'm supposed to I don't know, like I almost think like life in and of itself is kind of fucking meaningless, like honestly.
Pepe, you're being so depressing. Like you're so young. Don't think this way.
Yeah, don't have these feelings that you have.
I didn't say anything about his feelings. I said don't think this way.
I've thought this way for a long time. Like I don't really.
When did you start thinking? I mean, I'm sad that you don't want to have children and that you're talking about adopting a dog.
Yeah, like, I've like. Well, no, I mean, I've thought this way for like a while. Like I just don't care. In other words, it's kind of like I look at the game and I look at how people are, and I look at like what do you consider like a close relationship? I look at almost every relationship is by other people as being transactional. I don't see any like for example, when you're a kid and you think of like, oh, you'll find your one true love or something like that, where you'll I don't know, just like meet your quote unquote soulmate, and you know, you guys will like have this connection that nobody can understand. But anybody who's been in a relationship like realizes that like you get those feelings like when you're in a relationship, and a lot of it is kind of misleading. It's ultimately your feelings that mislead you. And, you know, the chemical you know, I guess you say like discharges or
You're talking about being horny.
response to your brain. Not just horny, but just like when you meet somebody and it's just kind of like you end up growing like like you know, it's kind of like why there's a honeymoon phase. And
what is it profiting? What are his motivations?
but even that, it's just like when you grow accustomed to somebody and
your father first.
you love them, and then you kind of feel like, oh well, like you guys are somehow your bond is unique, but then it's just like ultimately we can look at how like a lot of relationships end, like marriages. I believe more than half of them fail. This person was not the person you thought they were, and either you or your partner ended up doing something wrong, and so it doesn't work out. And so like have I been like, you know, let down by somebody where I thought like I had this special connection where I'd never imagined they'd do like what they did. Yeah, I've had that happen. And I guess that like when it comes to being jaded, once you've kind of like had that experience where you trusted a person, but then like unthinkable shit has happened, you kind of like at that point you learn to not trust your own intuition and your feelings. You realize that like how you feel is not to be trusted, and you know it kind of like invalidates every feeling you have because you realize it was just like a false sense of security. And I just, you know, just personally, like I just don't I'm gonna be honest, like I really don't care to like date women again. Like I'm starting, you know, like my relationship ended like right before the pandemic started, and I remember it was like really shitty. It was really, I really missed like affection and like I'm not even talking about sex, just like having somebody there. And then I got used to being alone, and it's just like now, like I just do not give a shit. Like I am 100% like unwilling to put any effort into meeting any like women or anything. Like honestly, like dying alone. I don't give a shit about that shit.
Do you have family around you?
Yeah, I've had some.
Just you, bro.
Stop this, Mr. Doctor.
No, I actually was very similar in different ways. Do you feel like you missed red flag that you should have seen, or you just
I know I did. I had like rose tinted glasses on where like I know for a fact I did, and even I like mentioned them as like they were red flags. Like I definitely like I made like stupid decisions. Like a lot of it is definitely my fault.
Yeah, I sort of have like the opposite issue where I typically will like I don't usually miss red flags, but sometimes I see red flags that aren't probably might not be there. But yeah, I don't know. Today was a weird day. I saw a girl today in the library, and I don't know. It's like it was the first time in probably like 4 or 5 years where I was like, I like this girl. I'm gonna go talk to her. I didn't. I bitched out. But yeah, I don't know. I've never been the type where it's just like, oh, I'm at this age, so now I would like to have a family, but not purely just have a family.
How old are you?
34.
Alright,
You
are
know,
you guys
Pepe. Sorry, Joey. It seems like you and Pearl are really cool and really close. Why don't you actually meet? I know you said you don't do long distance, but why don't you actually meet? You seem like you both care about each other.
Maybe she's in town, I'd meet her.
She's what?
I said if she was like in town or something, I'd meet her.
Or you want to go out of your way?
I mean, honestly, no, like, I'm just not, like, I'm not interested in like, being in a relationship. Like, it's weird.
You don't have to be in a relationship.
I don't know, like, something's changed. Like, I've been single for, like, 5 years or so. Yeah, I just don't, I'd like, like, honestly, I'm so, like, comfortable being by myself. Like, I don't.
That's good.
I don't want to live through the shit I lived through in the past, like being in relationships either. Like I'd rather be single than go through that shit again.
Fair point.
Should we let comedy up?
No.
Are you guys all over 30 or in your 30s and over?
Beta.
I must be the youngest of you. Only 26.
Trying to become.
Good age.
I mean, you're it's like you're not that young. So in terms of like somebody in their early 20s, late teens. So there's a huge difference.
So you guys all
Yeah.
I'm from New Zealand.
You like it there?
That's alright, hey. That's alright. I reckon it's probably a bit more harmonious compared to America from what I see on the news, but then again, it's probably just the news.
Well, you guys have very few nigger, right?
Yeah, there's no blacks here. Just heaps of Polynesians though.
We don't have many in Arizona either, to be honest.
Yeah, we don't.
We do.
I didn't even know what a fucking Samoan was until I was like 18 at the university, and there's a bunch of them in the fucking football team.
Yeah, they're all in the football team.
Just all, to be honest, we're just big fat fucks, eh? We're 6 foot plus and just fat fuckers.
The only place I've been to that had like a good bit of them was honest, which is weird. Is like Anchorage, Alaska.
Yeah, there's a few Tongans and Samoans up there, and probably so over in California. I mean in LA, like Long Beach, Inglewood. There's heaps of Tongans and Samoans there. But the funny thing is that like the Tongans. Was a part of the
The labor is not sexual? Why would you?
I mean, did you at that Henrietta Lacks?
Oh, what's up, Bobby? Bobby heard everything I said. He's black.
He said it was sexual. This nigga said it was sexual. Can you fucking believe it?
He knows what the shit I'm on.
The Henrietta Lacks being sexual?
Do you know the story of Henrietta Lacks, or is that a stupid question?
No, I do know about Henrietta
Okay, so he didn't read the book, and he.
What?
Did he break up?
Up here in America,
I don't know, but apparently I didn't read a book.
violent people I come across are the Hawaiians.
But yeah, these are some interesting claims right now. I'd have to disagree with some.
Wrong
And I'd have to
about
ask
it.
for more
Not lying.
references on some of this
It's all
stuff.
Piper's.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be mental illness.
What's the fourth category? What is the category? Just like wrong?
Well, I don't understand what
You guys are way too skeptical, man.
You can call it earnestly mistaken without being mentally ill.
Just like
I think
wrong
is just wrong.
without being, you know,
I'm
alive.
not sure why you're insisting on naming it.
Well,
I don't.
I had the same question.
I'm just curious what we would call it.
I guess that you could call that
Just like normal wrong. Just like
just like you got it wrong.
Yeah. Normal wrong. There you go.
Yeah, that's a great definition. Like as soon as you were met with the truth of it, you would say, "Oh, I got it wrong." That's the fourth one.
okay. What do you think, Arvin?
no one's gonna force anyone. God doesn't force anyone. But my question is always, has God done enough for these people to believe in Him? You know what I mean? Because they feel like unjustly, if this God exists, hasn't made Himself clear enough, not necessarily seen, but clear enough. So I wonder what's the other point. But again, I always bring up this: 90% of the world believe in some superpower, a certain power that's out there, and which means God maybe has made the case strong enough, at least for a lot of people. Now, some of them might not believe, but these guys want more proof.
No, but
God is happy with the numbers.
All that 90% is that some people hold a religious belief of some kind, but it's going to be about multiple God necessarily.
Anything, even if they're false beliefs, they believe in something, that's out there, which you deny automatically.
So what does that prove?
That proves that God has made his case strong enough. He's happy with his numbers. If only 5% of people believed in God, this is like, wait a second, you got to make a strong case for himself.
God made the case strong enough for his existence that there's multiple thousands of different versions of it, right? That's how he made the case.
That's another step. Once we establish this one, has he made a case? Of course, he can make it like obvious. I'm here, a beam of light, always there. But he doesn't want to do that. It's hidden. Okay, you can call it hidden. That's the way he chose it. But don't forget, 90% of people, they believe in that.
Obvious that there's a general case that some kind of God exists, but he's not really concerned with this specific things. Okay.
Arvin, who gives? Look, if what your standard is, go ahead and have your standard of belief. Like no one's forcing you to do anything, right? You have a standard.
You guys are waiting for something obvious from God, and I'm saying He's already established Himself because a lot of people are happy with what He's done. You guys are not happy with what God has done.
No, you didn't say He's established Himself. What you said was an idea has been established, some general idea of some kind of deity. That's not Him, though, right? That's not Him in His entirety, not the specifics of Him, right? Just the general idea. So when you say He's made it obvious about Him, don't be disappointed.
Of course, Him. He sends prophets everywhere.
You just said.
What do you think?
You just said He wasn't interested in making the specifics about Him obvious. You just said that. You just said that.
I've been everywhere, man. Look, Arvin, honestly,
He sends prophets everywhere.
The world is like balkanized in terms of like these beliefs. Is it not like a settled issue about God? You have like 2 billion Christians and 2 billion Muslims. You have a whole bunch of these like polytheists, right? These Hindus. What are you talking about? It's not a settled issue. At least 50% of the believers are wrong, right?
It's a settled issue with respect to God.
I think that's the most.
I mean, the other thing
Dude, I want to just knock your fucking teeth down your throat.
All right, let's not.
Come on,
but like the other thing though is like people like it's not like this is not just a thing that atheists have to accept, where people think they see things and actually they're just wrong, right? Without being like having a diagnosable mental illness. Like, if you don't believe in the Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, alien visitation, all that cryptozoology stuff, if you don't believe in that, right, plus you don't believe in some of the other religions, right, you're going to have to say that all this testimony from all these billions of people is false, right? You don't have a problem there, but when it comes to your particular religion, it can't be because why?
Right. That was my point entirely.
I think that's the most interesting thing he said tonight. We asked him just then, God's made it obvious that he exists, and then when we point out to the case that it's just a general idea of a God, then he says, well, he doesn't want it to be obvious.
Well, and also, I think we might want to draw the line between belief. So you believe God has made it obvious, but I have no knowledge of God making it obvious. So there's a difference there, right? Like, I know that if I jump off my balcony, I'm going to hit the ground. I know that. So why do you... I mean, Piper, I was thinking about you when I said this, but I feel like we're not really defining the difference between you believe it, but how do you know it?
I mean, it's partly going to depend on your theory of knowledge, but part of the basic idea is just going to be, knowledge is a belief that's connected to the truth in some sort of responsible, reliable way. My belief that it's raining outside, that I form on the basis of looking outside and seeing the rain, you could say it's knowledge, provided it's actually raining. But my belief, that it's raining as a result of just guessing that it was raining, right, without having any other evidence, and it happens to rain, okay, that's not knowledge. It's not connected to the truth in a responsible, reliable way.
Right, and if you walk out in the rain, then you have another level of knowledge. A personal perception of rain. Even though you could be schizophrenic. And then that rain is just
That's
a bunch
true,
of...
but we're allowing for,
Right.
The rain is trying to kill me.
The world to be justified.
Which is, again, why do you trust your brain so much to be the arbiter of universal truth like God? That's the weird thing for me. Christians and theists of all kinds trust their brains a lot. I don't trust my brain that much. I don't trust my brain to tell me the whole truth about reality, let alone the reality that created the universe and is responsible for my afterlife. I think that's a very, very large claim.
Well, that's interesting that you say that, Joe. I've never heard an atheist kind of bring that charge, because that's a criticism that most of the time precepts and Christians levy against us. It's like, how do you trust your brain when you can't know where the brain came from or what the justification for its existence? They say why do you trust your brain when you don't have that's interesting. And the case is just that we do trust our brains for a certain amount of things. I mean, we have to. And that's what makes the Christians are no different from us, because they have to do the same reasoning process. People say that they start with a God belief. Well, you had to have reasons to accept that. You didn't start with that prima facie. You didn't start with that as a foundational belief. You accepted that for reasons. Now, whether or not they're willing to talk about those reasons is a whole other thing, and most of the time they're not. But that's just interesting that you brought that same case against. You brought that against the Christian like they bring it against us.
No, thank you. Yeah, thank you. I find that interesting. I find it that you get to a point when we are so small. We are so small. I mean, while we've been talking tonight, there will probably be in the factor of 1,000 deaths of humans since we've just been talking tonight. A large majority of those humans hold in their brain some sort of deity. But the idea, I don't understand how you get to a point where you're so confident that your brain that can't even see it can't even see ultraviolet light. It's like what, 60 hertz? It can't even see as fast as a cat. Like it does. We know the physical limitations of all of our sensory input. The idea that, and this is, I guess, where the soul comes in. This idea that you have this insider information that I don't have, and we're the same species, that leads you to a God that created the universe and has and this God loves everything you love and will always bail you out and never makes you feel bad. It's a big jump for me.
I think all humans have to trust their brains. Whenever they bring that up, I'm just like, well, if you're telling me, if you're going to sit there and tell me right now that you don't trust your brain, I'm just going to call you a liar.
But I'm telling you, I don't trust my brain.
Well, no. Well, I don't. I don't think that's true. Because
no, I do. It
all depends on the extent that you're talking about, right?
Right. Yes.
As far as the brain telling you what the fundamental nature of reality is, maybe not. But you trust your brain to take in stimuli and input and have some kind of inform you, of what you should do, or what the next appropriate step is. Like you're walking towards a tree, you should probably turn so you don't smash your face into it. You're driving your car. There is another car that is all of a sudden in the same lane as you. You should probably swerve to. I mean, you obviously have to trust your brain for a vast majority of how you operate.
Yeah, we don't disagree there. But let's take this example. Are you married?
I was. I was. No, that's fine. I was.
So think about when you get in those arguments with your wife where you react, or with any loved one, and you react. And then you separate, and then you churn all that same input back into your brain, and you run it through a couple times, which is why I think meditation is so important, because it actually allows you enough time to dissolve sensory input. I don't think it's spiritual or supernatural. I think it just gives you time.
No, it's a distillation method. I totally agree.
Yes. So when you run it through your brain, you're like, oh, I reacted in that reality at that time with my brain, and I trusted it. But now I come back to the same argument and realize that's not the case. So that's kind of what I'm talking about, because you're right. We do trust our brains. But it is different for me. Here's where I draw the line. It is different for me when, and I see this all the fucking time,